rote learning method. The students, they learn and they write in the examination. So here we are not empowering our students to think in terms of develop their higher thinking skills. So that was the main purpose of developing this Bloom's taxonomy. This Bloom's taxonomy, it gives us opportunity for analyzing and evaluating whether the student has understood the concept or not, whether the process he has understood and whether he is applying that process, procedures, whatever principles that we are teaching, whether the student is able to understand that, whether the student is able to apply that in our day-to-day life. So this becomes very easy with the help of Bloom's taxonomy. So let us see what is this Bloom's taxonomy, what are the different parts of Bloom's taxonomy, and let us see these parts one by one. So the basic assumption behind Bloom's taxonomy, it is whenever we say that we keep the objectives at lower level, then the information is forgotten soon. Okay, so whenever it is at lower level, so when it is lower level, it means students are only learning it, they are only repeating whatever information is there and just that writing it in the examination. So that information is definitely forgotten. And when we are talking about higher level skills where students themselves are involved, then definitely information retains for a longer time. Okay, even we can take our own example. Yeah, suppose in our school days, in our college days, during our graduation, whatever things we had learned, we forget that. We forget very soon. But if we have really done the research on that, if we have really done some experiment on that, if we have really maybe in depth, if we have think about some topic, definitely that information even we remember right now also. That is the assumption behind this Bloom's taxonomy. Basically, he divided this taxonomy into three parts. First is cognitive. Cognitive, it is related to our brain, our thinking, what thoughts we have, what we know. It is all related to that. The second part, it is affective. Affective, it means your feeling, attitude, interest, how you behave. That all comes under affective. And the third part is psychomotor, where students' motor skills, their physical abilities, these are assessed. So mainly Bloom's taxonomy, he has worked on cognitive and affective skills. But here we are more going to see cognitive skills because this is completely related to our examination pattern. So today we'll see how this cognitive domain can be used in framing the question in the question paper, so that whatever learning objectives we are framing, those are achieved through that. So this is throughout our learning process. So whenever we design our course, firstly we form the learning objectives. Based on those learning objectives, we plan our teaching methods, we plan the learning episodes, and after our learning episodes, we test for learning outcomes. Of course, nowadays even reverse method is also now developing, where firstly the learning outcomes are decided, then depending upon that we design learning episodes, and then at the end we come to the learning objectives. But still right now, overall we are using this particular pattern where firstly we design the objectives, then episode, and then the outcomes. So let us discuss more about cognitive level. So as I said, cognitive level, it is related to our brain, it is related to our thinking skills. Okay, so let us see what all other components come under this cognitive domain. So Bloom taxonomy in 1956, he has given, you can see these 6 levels. So the first level, that is knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Okay, so this it was he gave this these 6 levels in 1956, and then in 2001 he revised this Bloom's taxonomy, and he gave those levels name as remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. So create is at the apex, if you can see. So that is the most important part, and that part in our educational system we are lacking. So at the apex is the create. Can you just think and tell me why Bloom's he has done these changes? Why from 1956 2001? Why the changes are done?
To understand what is the remembering power of a student for the first time, and when he remembers, then he need to understand. When he understand, he need to apply things, and
Okay.
After applying, engineering student and medical student need to analyze how to make a things done in a better way.
Yes.
Evaluating and creating. I believe there are even 142 questions like what, when, where, who, whose
Yes.
are the
Yes.
142 questions. You can say words which have been associated with Bloom's taxonomy, divided into
Yes.
6 parts.
Right. Right, sir. Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely correct, sir. But why this change? Why from knowledge to remember? Why from comprehension to understand? Why from
To understand the
application to
level of a
apply?
student, how he's grasping it, how he's understanding it, how he's progressing.
Okay. Yes,
That is
absolutely.
the
You're right,
assessment
sir.
level.
These are the assessment level. Absolutely, you're right, sir. But the main the idea behind changing this, yeah, yes,
Be
yes, ma'am.
that would be just because the application would be more clear if it is in terms of verbs. As in 1956, it was in nouns. These were nouns, and they have been transformed into verbs now.
Absolutely, absolutely, ma'am. So these were nouns. Yeah, in 1956, if you can see, knowledge, comprehension, application, these are nouns. And in 2001, we changed into verbs.
Yes.
Because whenever we are saying that a student is learning, he is doing something. That's a process. So we cannot say that knowledge is a process. Knowledge is some activity. Knowledge is a part of processing information, and then when we process the information, outcome of that information process is knowledge. But remembering is an act. Student is remembering something, he is doing something, he is understanding, so he's using his thinking capacity to understand. If he is applying, again he's doing something. So all these are verbs, what students actually they are doing. So these are the major changes in the latest technology taxonomy. Okay, so earlier it was noun, but now he has given this in the form of verbs, where it is more towards action, it is more towards the active learning side of the students. Okay, so instead of going back to 1956, now we will see the revised Bloom's taxonomy, where these new kinds of verbs they are used. I mean, the meaning has not changed much, but the verbs have changed. Okay. So when we are talking about remembering, it means what? Learner is recalling, he's restating, he's remembering whatever information is learned. If you can see the list over here, so he's just recalling the information. So in the class, whether it is engineering class, whether it is arts class, whether it is commerce class, whether it is any kind of class, whenever a teacher is giving information, it is just recalling of that information. So not much process is done on that information. Whatever the teacher is saying, the same information is given by the student. So that comes under remembering. So if you can see few words over here, if you can say, okay, list certain things, or maybe memorize or maybe poem. You can relate this maybe to some other things. You can show certain things on the map. You can choose. Okay, so this is basically nothing but whatever information teacher has given same information, students are giving it back. This is the lowest level of, we can say, lowest level of taxonomy. This is not at higher side, because whatever teacher is saying, the same thing students are learning. So this is basically based on rote learning method. Okay, so this comes under remembering. Next comes understanding. This is one step higher than your remembering. In remembering, you are remembering the content, but in understanding, you are processing that content. You understand the meaning of the information. You try to interpret whatever is said by the teacher. You're interpreting it, you're summarizing it, you're paraphrasing it, you're classifying it, you're comparing it, you're explaining it, and you're explaining it in your own words. That is important. This is the difference between remembering and understanding. In remembering, you can use textual language. Whatever is given in the textbook, whatever is given in the reference books, the same language you can use. But in understanding, students, they have to write, they have to speak everything in their own words, whatever is understood by them. Maybe we can say, suppose if you're talking about maybe any, suppose disease in medicine, suppose if you're talking about different symptoms of any disease, what are the causes of that disease? What are the symptoms of that disease? So those symptoms, when he will say just whatever given in the textbook, that becomes remembering. But when that student will elaborate that in his own word, that comes under understanding. Okay, so are you understanding the difference between remembering and understanding? Yeah, so remembering is the lowest level. Understanding is one step higher, where student is doing some process to that information and then translating it, what has been learned by him. So as you can see, certain words over here. So these words can be used for framing the questions also. You can tell them, okay, discuss certain things, translate certain things, interpret certain things. So this all comes under understanding. Even when you are saying define, again, define comes in two parts. When definition, it is given as per the textbook, as per the maybe whatever is the given in the same language, that becomes knowledge part, that becomes remembering part. But explanation of that definition, that comes under understanding part. Okay, so this is a second level of Bloom's taxonomy. Let us go to the third level. Now, from this level, higher order skills are developed in remembering, and second thing was understanding. These two were lower skills. From applying, the higher order skills will start developing. Now, what is basically applying? Whenever we are saying that applying, so whatever information we have, use that information in different context, in other situation, in similar situation, implementing whatever is learned. So if you have learned certain theorem, if you have learned certain principle, if you have learned certain theory, applying that into other situation, applying that into day-to-day life. Suppose if you're saying that, okay, you should not waste electricity because of these reasons. And student, while leaving the classroom, if he is not switching off the lights when there is no one in the class, we cannot say that he's applying his knowledge. So application is very, very important. So whatever information is given to us, application of the same information in some other situation, that is what is applying. See, sometimes what happens, we see that suppose it's a mathematics. So if you give similar kind of problem, students can solve it. But if you change the wording, if you change the figures, then students get confused. It means they are not able to apply it. Okay, That is very, very important to encourage students to apply whatever they have learned in other situations. What kind of questions can be asked for that? Okay, so these are the few verbs that you can see where we can say that students can apply their knowledge in other settings. The next is analysis. So what is analysis? It is
Archana
breaking
ma'am,
the
I
information.
think
Yes, yes, sir.
one of the panel member has got some doubt on this. Dr. Srinivas Rao, BR sir,
Yes.
do you have any doubt to be cleared? Dr. Srinivas Rao sir? Okay, you carry on, madam. I hope there could be some
Okay.
network issue.
Sure, sir. So analysis is the next level. So here basically we are breaking the information into parts to understand the information. So see, suppose let us take an example like the latest situation. So why now the number of patients are increasing? Here students are analyzing, they are breaking the information into parts. Okay, so when they are breaking the information, they can understand the relationship between the different parts. Or maybe if suppose it's a design, or it's suppose in architecture, suppose if you want the student to prepare one model, maybe they will deconstruct the model. They will see the different parts, their relationship again with each other, and then again they will rebuild it. That is what is analysis. Basically, breaking the information into parts and understanding the relationship between those parts with each other. Comparing with each other. So what is, when we are comparing, we are analyzing. What are the similarities? What are the differences? It is nothing but analysis. So these are few verbs that can be used. Yeah, so distinguish, compare, maybe contrast, detect certain things. You can make the sequence of the given maybe incidences, or maybe numbers, or whatever it is. So in this, they are analyzing it. Even if they want to make sequence of certain numbers, they have to do analysis like why I have to have a certain kind of sequence. If it's a diagram, okay, analyze the diagram. What are the different parts of the diagram? How different parts are related to each other? This is nothing but the analysis. The next level is evaluating. Again, this is a higher order thinking skill. Your students think in depth, they reflect, they do criticism, and they do analysis. So basically, they are judging here. Okay, they are judging whatever the inferences are there, whether it is correct or not. So you have to justify your decision. Why you're saying a particular thing is right, or why you're saying that particular thing it is not right. So you are experimenting for that. You are monitoring whatever hypothesis you have put forth. So you are testing that hypothesis. So this all comes under evaluation. So if you will say that, okay, this is only applicable for maybe science stream. What about other stream? What about commerce stream? What about arts stream? What about maybe other streams? So what do you feel that is evaluating is we can develop in any stream? Yes, definitely. Yeah, suppose it's an art stream. Definitely you can ask them, okay, like suppose a poem is given over there. You can ask to criticize that poem. You can ask to have reflection on that poem. So definitely if you see for any stream, so it's not necessary if it's a hypothesis, if it's experimentation, if it is judging, it is only related to science stream. But for any stream, definitely this higher order thinking skill of evaluation can be developed. So these are again few verbs that we can use to frame the questions for the students. Later on, we are going to see these questions and we are going to discuss that. And the last one is creating. As I already said, this is at the apex, and this is the most neglected part. Many times when I go to conduct trainings outside, many times I ask the participants to draw a picture of nature. And surprisingly, almost out of 100 participants, 95 to 96 participants, they will draw the nature in the same manner. That is mountain using those triangles, sun coming out of from the mountain, then one road, one hut, one maybe coconut tree or the other tree, other kind of tree. So usually the people will draw the same kind of drawing. Why this is happening? So basically here we are not giving opportunity for our students to create something new. It's okay if a student draws rose in a black color. Okay, let him create, let him think, let him produce something new. But we as teachers, we tell the students to move in a particular manner. That's why this creating, that's why we are saying that in India, there are very few inventions are taking place. So the main reason lies in our education system, where we are not allowing our students to create new ideas. Okay, so this is very important. So here maybe we can say student to plan something, to produce something, make something. And it's not necessary that whatever the student will generate, it has to be completely new. But he can make modification in whatever is there. Suppose if you say that, okay, there is one goggle, okay, or there is one maybe, yeah, okay, there is one goggle, and just you make innovations to that. Okay, how you can use it in a better manner. Let them explore the ideas. Okay, I have seen that a few students, yeah, they're from first year science, like beautiful ideas they gave me. And one of the student, he said that why not fit wipers to the goggles, so that because we cannot use goggles when they're, or we cannot use our specs, especially specs, not goggles, especially specs when we go out in the rain. This is something new that they are thinking. So let the ideas come out from them. Ideas can be very stupid also. We cannot say that all the ideas has to be very great. But sometimes the stupid ideas can also lead to very good inventions. Not necessary that each time the product should be new, but whatever is available, whatever is there, students can make modification into that. And that is what is creating. So these are few verbs that we can use. We can ask them to compose a poem, maybe a different poem, compile certain research articles, and maybe come out with some new conclusion out of that. Maybe they can develop certain things. Okay, so these are few verbs that we can use for creation. Now, how to write these objectives? So these are basically 6 levels. Okay, but it is always important to write these objectives in a proper manner. So whenever we write the objectives, whenever we write the learning outcomes, we have to make sure that they are measurable. What is measurable? Which we can measure, which we can observe. Otherwise, if you see, if suppose you say that, okay, student, maybe he will think to prepare, he will think innovative ideas. You cannot measure thinking. Okay, but if you say that student constructs a model, then definitely that verb you can measure. Construct means what? It is observable. It is clear. It should be concise verb. So in each objective, there has to be one verb which has all these features. And you can mention the level also, like it is remember, or whether it is understanding, or whether it is apply. Okay, so you can mention those levels when you are writing that. So whenever we are saying that learning experience, so definitely learning experience is going to be different as per your objectives. Okay, here I have given a very simple example because you all have come from the different background. So this is a very simple example so that everyone can relate to that and they can apply in their own subject. So suppose English teacher, maybe she is from first year or second year of BA class, and she wants to teach a poem. As per the learning experiences, as per the objectives, the learning experience are going to be changed. How they will change? If it's remembering, teacher will ask students to recite the poem, or she will ask students to find the new words and their meaning. So it is nothing but remembering. If we are talking about understanding, then teacher will ask students to, okay, describe the central idea of poem in your own words. What you have understood from this poem, you describe in your own words. You maybe explain what are the qualities of this poem. So your student will try to understand the meaning behind that content and will explain that. When we are applying it, maybe teacher will ask that, okay, use new words in meaningful sentence. So whatever meaning they know, they will try to use the same words in different sentences. Or maybe if you have understood that poem, you collect the poems on similar themes. This is nothing but applying. Maybe you can apply this example maybe in your subject. How you can ask students to remember, understand, and apply. Okay, if it's understanding, then teacher might ask students to compare with other similar poem. Okay, so these are the qualities that you said about the poem. Now just take this poem and find out what are the similar qualities both the poems have. So this is nothing but analysis. Next part comes evaluating. So your teacher asks to justify the appropriate use of whatever adjectives or adverbs used in the poem. That why particular adjective is used? Why didn't she use some other adjective? Why she didn't use some other adverb in the poem? So try to justify that. And in creating, maybe teacher can ask, okay, just think about beautiful scene, whatever you experienced in the past, and you can try to construct a new poem on that. Okay, so this is the way, whenever we list out the objectives as per Bloom's taxonomy, as per the levels of the Bloom's, our learning experiences that we are giving to the students, it also changes. So we cannot use the same technique, the same method for the students. Otherwise, we will not be able to achieve our objectives. Now, when we are talking about questions, now examination is all about questions. So when we are talking about questions, lower level questions are, as I said, these are remembering and understanding. So basically, why these kind of questions are also important. So through these questions, we can evaluate students' preparation and comprehension, whether students are understanding it or not. If students are not understanding, then diagnosing students. Okay, so where the students are not understanding. So through lower order questions, you come to know, okay, like remembering, he's not able to remember this. He's not able to explain his own words. So there is some problem. So diagnose that problem. Accordingly, we can give them remedial. And reviewing and summarizing the content also, it will help you. So definitely lower order questions are also equally important, but along with that, it is also important to give higher order questions. For higher order questions, it is application, analysis, evaluation, and creation. And why this is important? So your students are going one step higher. Now they have understood the content. They have comprehended the content very well. Now going one step higher and encouraging them to think more deeply, more critically. See, it normally happens when we say to criticize certain things. We really sometimes fall short of words. We really don't know how to evaluate anything critically. we do not know how to solve the problem. So this from student level, if we give them this opportunity, definitely they will develop this habit of thinking. Encouraging discussion. So these all things are possible with the help of these higher level of taxonomy. So this particular chart, this is very, very important chart. This you will get on net. So basically this is given by Anderson, and it has all the verbs that are given by Bloom's. Using these all verbs, we can create a lot of questions. As Sir rightly at the beginning said that there are list of questions which are based on all these levels. And we can create our own questions for our question paper, which are based on all these levels. Just pick up the verbs from this chart and try to construct your own question. So shall we try this? Can anybody would like to try one or two questions based on these verbs? You can pick up any verb, and from your particular stream, you can frame one question. Anybody would like to try?
I request all the members to participate equally. We will allot 1 minute for this. Give a try how it could be.
Because
Right or
this is
wrong,
what
that
is
is
going to
secondary.
help you. Yeah, this is what is going to
Ma'am,
help
good
you.
evening.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. Compare a CE amplifier and so similar type of amplifier we can compare to different amplifier. It is coming under second stage.
Okay, so
Understanding.
compare.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I want to ask you one question that.
Yes.
So some action verbs are repeated in level 1, level 2 and level 6. You can see that one. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
sir.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I attended the AICT reforms on examination. In that, so it is possible that we can change the question from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skill. So in that case, what type of level we have to put against the question, ma'am? Can you answer?
What level? I didn't get your question very well, sir. Your voice is breaking actually.
Now it is clear, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes,
Hello?
you are audible. You are audible, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Ma'am, we can able to change the questions from lower order thinking skills to higher order thinking skill.
Yes.
Is it okay, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. So in
Yes.
that case, what type of level we have to put against the question? This is my question, ma'am. In the
See,
question paper, we are assessing, na?
right.
Which level we have to put? Whether we have to put all the level or the higher level which we are getting.
No, see, there is a rule that I will tell you later, like that point was later, but I will tell you right now. See, usually it is followed that 40% of your question should follow knowledge, or I mean remembering, understanding level, and the remaining 60% can be divided into applying, analysis, evaluate, and create. This is usually that is followed. So
Okay.
whenever we prepare our blueprint, so whenever we prepare questionnaire, at the beginning, we always prepare our blueprint. In that
Okay.
blueprint, we have to bifurcate like how many percent you're going to give. Like if it's 40%
40%
for
from,
remembering. Yeah. So
May
usually
I
the
intervene
given
here?
is,
May I intervene here, Dr. Muthukumar sir? Usually,
Yes, yes, sir, please, sir.
the 60-40% rule is a generally accepted idea of Bloom's
yes,
taxonomy in general question paper. Say, suppose
yes,
you would like to have very specific, like 40, 20, 15, another whatever the residuals are. That will be actually come
Okay.
through your board of studies or board of examinations can
yes,
be decided. I mean, the university might take a call if it is a private university, if it is autonomous, it will take a
Okay.
call. Or even as if you are an examination controller, you could also direct to the teachers that you please put in this platform, in this pattern.
yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Like,
Depending upon stream, the percentage may change, but ideal it is 40% for lower level and 60% for higher level.
Hello.
Okay.
Can I
Okay. Thank you,
intervene
ma'am.
here for a minute?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Hello.
Dr.
Yes,
Nalini
ma'am.
Dwarkanath, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. Good evening. See, basically, the first idea when we sit to frame the question paper is to understand the level of students. Average, go by that. Average, mediocre, and the higher order. So, keeping that, what percentage we would like to give to the average student, because we need to cater to all the students
Right.
of intelligent mediocre, and then average students. Keeping
Yes.
that in view, and we need to frame the questions, then this 40-60 comes into the picture. 40% is rightly, as ma'am said, knowledge and understanding. This 60% can be divided into the most intelligent and the mediocre and the average again. So we need to
Absolutely.
classify going by the level of students' understanding and their level. That is how usually the question paper is set in the board of committee or anything like that.
Yes, yes.
Am I right, ma'am?
Yes, thank
Yes,
you for
absolutely,
that advice.
absolutely. Ma'am.
I think Dr. Chandrasekhar sir has raised his
Yeah.
hand. Chandrasekhar sir, please carry on.
Yeah, madam, I would like to bring to your kind notice here. If you have gone through the AICT examination reforms,
Yes.
they suggested in that in fixed hours examination mode, we can go up to only level 4, at the most level 4, not at 5 and 6 levels.
Yes.
So,
So
what is
usually sixth level, it is usually not possible. I'm again saying it is usually, again, it depends upon the stream to stream. So usually
but,
sixth level
a
is
strong-
not possible in regular assessment,
yeah.
but
They
definitely to some extent,
like-
fifth level we can incorporate.
What my understanding could be, Dr. Correct me if I'm wrong, Archana Chaudhary ma'am. First of all is time bounded and could easily accessible and achievable, and it is also challengeable. But
Yes.
the fifth and sixth, is it more time consuming activity where you need to give more time to assess if I'm right? This is what I take away
Yes.
from the ACTC exam reform. Am I right, ma'am?
Yes.
Raghavendra sir, the
Yes.
challengeable comes at the evaluation part of it.
Yes.
You said challenges, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at evaluation level, you get that the challenging side.
Very true. Very true.
But
I would,
basically, we need to cater to the average and mediocre students, and then the rest of it to the intelligent or.
yes,
So the
yes,
analysis and evaluate goes to that on the challenging side.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you for the advice,
Yes,
ma'am.
higher order.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I
So
think
that's what I
Dr.
said. That
Yeah, we
Yeah.
continue, madam. We will take the question and answers to
Yes,
the last
at the
part
end.
of it. Yeah.
Yes, sure, sir. Whenever we are planning for this assessment, so Professor Pardesi and Shinde, they have given a very nice guideline. So basically, whenever we are planning assessment questions, firstly, we should be knowing the learning outcomes. It should be in align with the learning outcomes. So whenever we are planning a question paper, we should keep in front of us what are the learning outcomes that are expected. Otherwise, if we do not take care of that, then maybe those things cannot be again measured, whether the outcomes are achieved or not achieved. And these outcomes, they should be testable. And overall weightage in the assessment, it should be given to learning levels, and the weightage right now we have seen that it is 40% for knowledge oriented questions and 60% for higher order questions. That it must contain difficulty level to find different capabilities of the student, as rightly ma'am right now said that there are different kinds of students in the class. Some are maybe slow learners, some are average, and some are gifted, some are above average. So we have to keep it in mind, all the students, and accordingly we can divide the weightage and we can frame the question paper. Then it should be well balanced, and the nature of every course, it is different, and so the weightage, it can be different. So sir, when you ask like AICT has said certain things, or maybe in your scenario the weightage can be different, so it is already said by Bloom's that yes, depending upon the nature of the course, weightage can differ in the question paper. So again, it all depends upon the students in front of you and the course that you are running. Like if you take a design course, or if you take architecture course, where the skills are more important, so there definitely the last apex of this level is possible. Okay, but if you take care of maybe liberal arts field, okay, then in that case for examination part, it may not be suitable. Again, depending upon the course, the weightage can vary. I'm giving you a few questions. Let us see from which level they are. If I say that state Ohm's law, Which level is it?
Is the level 1?
Yeah. So that is remembering?
Remembering.
Yes, absolutely. Next question. Differentiate.
Understand.
Understanding? Yes,
Which one?
absolutely. Summarize the importance of stress management.
It's remembering.
Summarize, sir, summarize.
Summarize just
So remembering.
now. Phase 4, if I'm right. I'm trying to
No,
put it in a one nutshell. A small
Understanding.
Understanding. Actually, summarize will go in
Understanding.
understanding because your student is understanding the content and then trying to you make use of that content in the form of summarization.
No, there also comes in recollection. Recollection. No,
I'm sorry?
in summarizing, you also get it as recollecting, application, then putting them in a order. Summarize is to put the level of whatever the student has understood in a sequential order. That is what
Yes.
summarize actually puts it. From
Right.
the beginning to the end. You said about the outcomes, isn't it? So the
Right,
objectives
right.
and the outcomes should match. So summarize takes
Absolutely.
all this into a picture.
Right, right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Then how will you apply principles of designing a model? Which level is it?
Apply.
level 4.
Yes. One resource person needs to address the huge gathering. Arrangement of the audio should be such that everyone should be able to hear clearly. Identify the suitable circuit and explain its functionality.
Analyze, ma'am.
Analyze? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other this?
Creativity, imagination.
Yeah, your voice is breaking, ma'am. Yes?
Hello, Manisha ma'am.
Creativity.
I think that she has got some network.
Yes, sir. Creativity.
Your
Creativity.
will not.
She speaks as a
Create
creativity.
will not be there. It can be analysis.
You have to evaluate
Analyze.
also.
Yes.
Analyze or evaluate. Both are.
You have to evaluate also, taking into all the factors into consideration.
Yes, but mainly it will come under analysis. See, if you see all the levels they are related to each other. But definitely we have to see what is more applicable. Definitely one question can have maybe 2 or 3 levels also. It may have. Like the basic remembering, maybe each and every question will have. But here we have to see as per the Bloom's taxonomy, which is more applicable to that particular question. So here it is mainly it is related to analysis, where he is going to maybe break whatever information he has, and then accordingly he will see which particular circuit will suit, and then
He
explain its
also has to
functionality.
evaluate, no ma'am, because it is, you have said identify the suitable circuit and the functionality. So he also has to evaluate, right?
But at the beginning he has to analyze also,
Yeah, analyze and then evaluate also.
and then evaluation. Absolutely, absolutely, ma'am. List physical and chemical properties of silicon. Yeah, if it's list,
Level 1.
Remembering.
yes,
Remembering.
level 1, because they are just listing.
Yes,
Absolutely.
remembering.
It is remembering. They are just listing it, so it's remembering.
Hmm.
Investigate the propaganda technique used in each of the following advertisement.
Analyze.
Analysis. Yes?
Evaluate or analysis?
Analysis.
Yes, it is analysis,
Investigate.
because they are
Okay.
going to analyze which techniques are used in the advertisement. Are the art an important part of school curriculum? Justify your answer.
Phase 5.
Analyze, ma'am.
Application.
Analyze.
Application.
See,
Application.
justify. They are saying
Justify.
justify your answer.
Justify your answer.
Application.
Yes?
Application. Application.
Actually,
Application.
it comes under
Evaluation.
Evaluation it comes because you have
Because
to
you're
give
justifying.
justification.
You're evaluating whether arts, it is important part of school curriculum or not. So you're putting hypothesis, You are tasting it, so you are justifying your answer. So that's why
Ah,
it comes
why-
under evaluation.
Yeah, while evaluating, you also exhibit your understanding of that concept or
Yes,
whatever.
yes. Definitely,
Okay.
definitely, ma'am. Without understanding, definitely we cannot go for
Yeah, so it is evaluation.
Yes, absolutely, ma'am. Formulate a bill that you would like to see passed in Congress.
It's create, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely. You're
Creating.
using your creativity, you're using your imagination, and you're formulating a bill. Absolutely, it is creativity. Define disaster management.
Level 1, ma'am.
Remember.
Purpose.
Yes,
We have to
it is
remember.
defining,
Remember.
it is, recalling.
The most best part is the phase 1. Best way to answer the questions.
Yes. Yes, then examine result of your experiment and record your conclusions.
Analyze, ma'am.
You're recording your
Evaluate.
conclusions. Sir.
Evaluate.
Is it
Evaluate.
apply
Evaluate.
So evaluation, absolutely.
Pairing
Evaluation.
Analysis is part of it, but you're evaluating because you're recording your conclusions. Okay, so if you have seen over here the same question, maybe you can maybe again paraphrase it and you can make it into any level. I mean, the same question, if you use different verb and frame in different manner, it can become lower level, or you just paraphrase it, use different kind of verb, and you can make that as a higher order question. Okay, it is using the verbs properly in framing the any question. That is a very important part of this Bloom's taxonomy. So at the end, definitely to conclude, written examination, it is definitely very important, and we require cognitive ability. So the written examination, it is able to assess students' ability, and it is depends on the questions that are presented in the question paper. If the questions in the question paper are not up to the mark, definitely we won't be able to assess students' real ability. So a good and reasonable examination paper should have different kinds of levels which can accommodate different capabilities of the students. This is very, very important part. Different levels as per different capacities of the students. So definitely Bloom's taxonomy is going to help us the all-round development of the students. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask.
Ma'am, to all my members, before asking questions, or I would like to ask few questions which is already sent to me through group chat box.
Okay.
Dr. V. Kathiresan has asked whether can we apply Bloom's taxonomy for all type of courses, irrespective of any faculty, schools. Is it possible to apply Bloom's, or do we have any limitations in Bloom's taxonomy?
No limitations, sir. It can be any stream, right from pre-primary school to any higher education. You can apply Bloom's taxonomy.
Okay. Professor Dr. Vivek I. Kochar sir have been asked, what are the assessment criteria in all 6 levels under Bloom's taxonomy?
Yeah, so that we have already discussed. It is usually 40, 60, but as per the students, as per the course, it may vary.
It depends on the examiner. He has the liberty to choose and allocate.
Yes.
Okay. I request Dr. Ashish Kathale that he has asked some question which is more confusing to me. Explain residential status in detail. How is that? What is that, sir? Few people asking about is there any reference?
I only frame one question. Madam says that you frame one question related to that particular. So I framed that particular question.
Very good. I appreciate your concern on this. Thank you.
Great, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Is there any book, good books that Dr. Chandan Bora has been asking to understand in depth on Bloom's taxonomy, ma'am?
Bloom's taxonomy, usually the books on evaluation. So from those books you will get good information. It can be Dandekar. Dandekar is one of the book. Even I don't remember the name right now. It's on my tongue.
What you do, madam?
So I will definitely post those names to you.
Raghavendra,
Yes.
Books on educational psychology deals elaborately with the Bloom's taxonomy. And there's one professor by name Krishnamurthy who has really expanded at every level of this.
Very good.
It should be available in Sapna, mostly in
it's
Bangalore.
All
As
right.
much I know.
Definitely,
Basically, it's
ma'am.
educational evaluation.
Educational psychology books definitely deals with this.
Ma'am,
Very
educational
basic.
evaluation, you will get more. Educational evaluation.
No, I'm saying in general, educational psychology books give in detail on Bloom's taxonomy because that
Yes.
caters to the examination part of it also.
I would like to intervene here, Madam Dr. Archana Chaudhary, ma'am. You
Yes,
need to get introduced to Dr. Nalini Dwarkanath, who is a leading student psychologist, and she is presently working as the student psychologist and CBT trainer for IIM Bangalore and IIT, Triple IIT Bangalore. I'm pretty sure that you both combine, make one workshop, at least having a thesis kind of it, having a subjective becomes more interesting. But let us have a psychomotor skills on workshop, a workshop to be conducted on Bloom's taxonomy. This is my request, and I'll let you know.
I think Bloom's taxonomy can itself be expanded, and we can have, one more or two more because this is a vast subject.
Yes,
It's
next
a very
week is
vast
already been.
Bloom's taxonomy, hands-on experience is very, very important. Just a lecture is not going to help, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Workshop
Next,
will be more better.
I will definitely come in. Next 5 weeks, we already been planned up accordingly. But I will take a slot in between, and I want both of them to conduct a workshop at least for 3 hours, so that all the people can have a hand-on experience. The one which the template was showing it, phase 1 to phase 6, level 1 to level 6. Huh?
Right, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? How to convince? Dr. Vinayak Hegde is asking, how do you convince the individual student knowledge outcome using Bloom's taxonomy?
How do you convince?
The individual student knowledge, individual student's knowledge outcome using Bloom's taxonomy.
Sir, if we are talking about question paper, then definitely through questions we can. Otherwise, in regular teaching learning process also, we can ask these questions based on different levels.
Vinayak Hegde, you can carry on.
Yeah, sir, I have a question now because we are conducting the examination through manual papers and booklets. Usually what happens, we can create the questions using Bloom's taxonomy, but the main purpose of is to inform each individual student where they exactly stand. For example, the class is heterogeneous, where very slow learners also there and high performers also there. So what happens is in a 60 number of class, for example, concentrating on each individual student where he stands, actually where exactly he has a difficulty to understand the subject. How can teacher convince each student that where exactly they stand and how they have to improve using this model?
Okay, sir. Sir, basically, usually when we construct summative examination and when we prepare question paper, it usually caters to, suppose the class is of 60 students, it usually caters to all the students. But when you are talking about reporting each and every individual about their baby progress, then the CCE, that is continuous, comprehensive continuous evaluation plays, where when we say it's a formative evaluation. So when we conduct formative evaluation, that time, first thing we have to do is we have to first identify who are below average, maybe average or above average. Based on that, we can have our evaluation, formative evaluation activities. Usually what we do, the same activity, formative evaluation activity, we give it to everyone. So because of this, what happens, the students who are maybe below average, they are not able to attempt those kinds of activity. So the first step is to identify the level of the students. Second step is to construct different activities. I know maybe you will say that it's quite difficult to conduct different activities for different students, but there we as teachers have to take special efforts, which we also in our class we take, and accordingly we can understand their levels. And once we know that okay, the first student has mastered one level, next activity one step higher we can give. If you feel that yes, the student is not progressing, then there comes the role of remedial teaching. So this is how usually the process goes.
one last question orally from all the members. Only one last question, and I have one question from the chat box. So
Yes,
both together two.
Raghavendra,
Yes.
can I just add? Ma'am has said very rightly. She explained very
Yeah,
well.
you can add on,
Just
madam. You
to
can add on.
to that, just to add to that point, see, when we teach in the class, one part of it is to decipher information to the students, give them the transfer of knowledge. While we do that, the care should be taken also to give them an idea of from the exam point of view, like all these terminologies that Bloom's taxonomy uses, how the questions are formed. See, like everything, see, evaluate, examine, critically analyze, all these aspects, what do we expect as an outcome, as an answer, should also be given to the students. Then they'll be able to apply their understanding to knowing how much they should write in the form of the answers for each question. So if that is also taken care, in the class, we give them an idea on each the verbs or whatever it was now discussed, that will really help the students a great deal.
Okay.
Madam, one more question I have. Madam, one more question. So now with this, what happens is the subject teacher and the student may be able to understand each other. But when it comes to the program, like because UGC and AICT asked about to come with learning objectives and course objective and program objectives, how can we calculate whether program objectives are met by knowing the course objectives?
Dr. Vinayak Hegde, last week
Yeah.
we had a session on the rubrics. We will definitely take it up
Rubrics.
on the rubric measurement in coming subsequent weeks. Today it was only to understand about the knowledge of Bloom's taxonomy as well as the revised Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, we have been identified resources, discussing about constructing the rubrics. Okay, I'm pretty sure that you will come there and you can be able to discuss on that. Ma'am, one question from the chat box where Professor Shanmugapuria has asked, what are the levels that we have to follow for postgraduate students?
What are the levels? All the levels.
All the levels, is it? I think Shanmugapriya madam, your answer is been addressed here. I mean, they say that post-graduation means master level is little more higher, challenging questions can be as given can be asked, probably could be.
No, even if they're from postgraduate, we have to start from remembering, because I have already said that these lower level skills are also important to understand the competency and understanding level of the students.
Okay.
So right from remembering, we can use all the levels.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Is there any one last question I could able to take it up, because we are actually going out of the time? If there is nothing, I'm very happy here. I hope no questions is coming here. On the behalf of Council of Examiners India, I thank Dr. Archana Chaudhary ma'am for taking out a time for us and discussing about Bloom's taxonomy as well as revised Bloom's taxonomy in the context of examinations. Every week that we conduct such kind of a webinar, and I would also would like to request you to come and address wherever such kind of in the blockades are there in terms of examinations. And my dear friends, colleagues, professionals are here. Next week that we have been arranging a camaraderie session on the new normal higher education as well as examination. So this will be exclusively discussions on the new normal of education as well as the examination, how the way that we could be able to carry forward. The Council of Examiners India will be looking forward for you people to participate actively. There shall be no resource person. We have the inside the member who shall be a resource person to discuss on it. All of you people can jump in. It's all about the ideology, the idea to take it ahead. Once again, thank you all. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you so much. Even I enjoyed this session. The very nice interaction was done in the session. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all. All the members may leave now. Thank you.